Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Miami University's, think second game of Super Smash Bros.
Mhm.
First this week. One of what 5 streams we do weekly, every Monday. Last week we had a one heck of a game. We won 3-0.
Yeah, I think it definitely was a bit of a substantial lead that we had at the end of the cruise there, just because if you had missed it last time, Lunar Steve had an amazing run both games.
Another notable player was Mendel's man on the Bowser Jr. Quite a fun character to watch and play as, and made for interesting games to see for last week. Along with that, we got to see some riveting matchups like Sonic versus Isabel, and what else? We also got to see K. Rool, I believe. Our K. Rool came out.
Yeah, I remember I was commentating with Logic Kegs whenever the K roll came out, and Jam's K roll is like a big inspiration to Logic Kegs, and that was really fun to see. I know it was fun because I think they had sent Jam into that Samus player, and that Samus player was really good, and gave quite the good effort for their college. And that team had definitely put up a good fight for game one, and then Lunar just like game one. Game two just was like it was really good. Um, but what we didn't see was either Palpa or Klutz play, which I hope perhaps we might see this time around, because those two players are definitely quite a treat to see. And yeah,
Yeah. Today we're playing against BGSU Bowling Green. We haven't heard much from them yet, so we might head to a pause until we can get something for them. So we will get to you when we get to the game. Um, so we'll see you soon.
yeah. For now, stick around.
And we're back. We're going to get ready to head into game here in a little bit. But first, important thing, I'm Alex, otherwise known as Trae.
I'm Ivy, also known as Pandora.
And this game one, we're first seeing Palpa the Villager, who we didn't get to see last week, so it'll be interesting to see him play today, versus Zero Pressure the Rosalina.
So I kind of know the bit of an answer to this when it comes to that specific like that. Also, I want to say that is a very interesting start. Usually, we either see Lunar go first, but also, and we usually see Palpa go last. But I know that specific character matchup seems really weird. I have an answer for that, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
I'm expecting it to be rather neutral, but mostly due to I don't really know what Rosalina does too well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's a bit of an obscure character. So is
yeah,
Villager.
yeah. I'd expect Villager does have toys and tools to deal with Luma and Rosalina at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a world where it isn't a great matchup, but I expect it to be more on the neutral end.
So what I would say is it's weird because Rosalina has that move where she can just suck up projectiles. Sometimes those can hit you. But when it comes to Villager and Luma specifically, Luma takes so many hits and just dies super quickly to where it becomes a sort of like, okay, and this goes for most matchups, but Villager can get Luma down really easily, so then you can kind of pressure Rosalina way easier, and then also kind of you could sometimes punish her with like if they try to suck up projectiles, you can jump up and use a physical move like down air or axe, but you know it's certainly not a bad matchup at all. I think it has the tools to either be like losing or winning. It's not really an explored matchup, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's even. So honestly, I don't have a concrete answer, but I do know from my experience, I've seen Luma die super early, which usually isn't good for Rosalina.
Yeah. We did just get the map in. That might change how things work. We have Town and City, first map. Definitely one of my favorites, personally.
I like it. I like it.
Especially to play on. Great, great map.
So we're getting to the first game here. Town and City is a huge map, and that's going to give Palpa a ton of space. Definitely, and also an interesting starting map. But now we're getting right into it, as Jump Lloyd is a pretty common start off for when it comes to Town and City, because you got all that momentum to like just send it. And now you're already seeing Luma is just taking a ton of hits just by fair and just dash attack there alone.
Yeah, definitely seeming to be kind of difficult for Rosalina, and definitely not something unworkable. But that Luma is truly feeling pain right now, and a puppet character without their puppet is not usually the best kind of deal.
No, and you can see that. Yeah, Luma's having to respawn already now, but we got a new one. It's new and blue. I kind of like the interesting dynamic here because Rosalina's got a red dress and then Luma's blue. And Palpa is actually, I mean, slowly chipping away to get it more even. But yeah, I mean, Palpa, that wasn't an amazing start, but now I feel like it's now it's a little bit more evened up. But getting edge guarded by Rosalina can sometimes be scary, especially with that fair that can kind of like ladder you up with a multi hit.
Yeah, it definitely looks difficult for
Ooh.
Villager, or like looks like Villager's having a difficult time dealing with, or Palpa's having a difficult time dealing with the Luma whenever Luma is on screen. So I think it's going to be priority number one to get rid of Rosalina's puppet, especially when she's starting to desync it and have the Luma start attacking on its own or seemingly on its own.
Yeah, it's yeah, you saw the spacing there. It kind of felt like Palpa was fighting Luma than more than Rosalina, and now it's going to be a bit of a game of catch up. But now that Luma is gone again, it might be time to approach. Try to do a turn up, but only got one, and it was lingering, so it didn't even really go anywhere. Trying to get it back here there to get Rosalina off stage, not going to quite work. Another Luma back online. So it's going to be a little scary for Palpa. This could be a little bit of a downhill momentum for Palpa here, but if he can get a good aerial or back here at ledge, it could be golden. Already at 85, that is not a great position to be in.
Yeah. Um, right now it seems like Palpa is struggling a little bit, but all it takes is a little bit of momentum and a Smash game can just completely swing. It is very entertaining to
Oh,
see
there we go.
when Rosaline is eating the projectiles, seeing them go in seemingly random directions for a little bit. Definitely something, if you're not used to, can be a bit of a shock. Um, but now that we have Palpa getting a bit more of a foothold, it's going to be a bit more of a match. But with the
Ooh.
Luma uppercut, it makes it really difficult
Yeah.
for Palpa to survive on or with 120%.
That was an interesting kill as well because Lloyd had actually stalled out that up smash from Luma. And it's actually really scary because Luma is the only like entity in the game that can smash attack while mid-air. That's gonna
Oh,
kill super early on the side there. Seemingly looked like Rosalina was just like holding ledge or something with the way that berry looks like. And also a really good punish with Tree Grow, and all of a sudden it's back to even.
yeah. Notably, Luma was just resounded, and Rosalina almost instantly lost it due to how Palpa played it. So we're seeing a great evening of the match right now, and it looks like Palpa is going to start causing some real problems for zero pressure here. Um, but we'll see how they go throughout the rest of this match because never count a Smash character out too early.
Uh, ooh, this could be it with a no,
Oh, that's
missing
unfortunate.
that. Wow, I wonder if that was supposed to be a back air, but yeah, it looked like what might have been a little bit of a misinput. But I was about to say like if they both made it back to stage, we're back to being in neutral. I was actually going to expect maybe a tree there because I saw a lot of tree kind of a trip zero pressure up, but I mean we definitely take those, and I think that was good. Kind of I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Villager is super just able to go down into that blast zone, and sometimes characters can be like I can go get them, and sometimes it doesn't always work out, and sometimes they'll just die for trying to go for it, just like how zero pressure did there.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate little incident, but I do respect zero pressure for going for it. Is if you can do that, it's a game winner. Hitting anyone that far down on the blast zone.
es-
Um,
Especially whenever Villager just can't act out of up B. Now up B doesn't have a hitbox. If you can catch Villager with any of your moves off stage, it is especially that far and very close to the blast zone. A backer definitely would have ended the game.
Definitely. I bet that was the plan for zero pressure. We are waiting to see who's the next people coming in. From what we know, we have a K. Rule, Diddy Kong, and Little Mac in the back. Out of those three characters, yep, man. Now we're going to be seeing King K. Rule come in. Kind of what I expected, especially for their pseudo anti-zoning and zoning package that they have with their brass stomach and very strong projectiles with Cannonball and Crown. I think that's going to be very difficult for Palpa to deal with, at least early on in this match. So we'll see what map they come out on and what might change. in Palpa's gameplay?
Um, that's going to be interesting to see because I know we have our own King K. Rool player, and I've seen that matchup's actually really bad for K. Rool. Simply just because when you pocket Crown, K. Rool can't use Crown anymore, like at all, until
Mhm.
K. Rool respawns. That's actually unique to K. Rool. Where most characters like Diddy Kong, if they were sending in Diddy Kong, if you pocket a Nana, that's going to be in your inventory until you bring it out or you die. But for K. Rool, if it's if you die, bring it out, or K. Rool dies, he will respawn with the crown. And sometimes that makes K. Rool's play the matchup very, very patient. So we might see a very long game here, but also it's they got ought to be very confident if they're sending in a villager who they might likely know that has K. Rool experience. It'll be quite something to see, especially with the counter pick, because that can also determine the pace of the match. Because if it's a smaller stage, you're going to see a lot of you get a lot of interactions. But if it's a bigger stage, you're going to see way more patient, way more broad. But it looks like that they're going to go to small battlefield, so we're going to be seeing a lot more kind of interactions, and K. Rool most likely going in for more close range moves. But here we go, second game, and then Palpa starting at one stock. That's also not too bad for K. Rool. I mean, it is might be a matter of also catching an early stock from Palpa. But going to the second game, let's see what happens. Oops.
Yeah, that looks like a game reset. Um, it seems like we had a little forget about the rules just a little bit, but it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a new season. I totally don't blame it. That, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Um, it did seem like the K rule was ready for the game though. Really excited, really energetic of a K rule, jumping on and off the platform. All right. It looks like we're going right back in. We'll see if K rule can stand for just a little bit longer coming into this first game or second game.
I already saw him like moving around and getting ready to. Oh, and then he's already throwing punches. But maybe we'll see. He's raring to go. We'll see the start of this round, and there we go.
Yeah. The start of every Smash game, a little taunt.
I always think that's pretty beautiful. Whenever in crews, you always
What
kind
a
of
grab.
that.
What a grab! That was ages off, in my opinion, but we'll take it. We'll see what
Ooh.
happens.
Stopping the crown pocket by hitting a little bit of a like before it fully got into the pocket, and now K. Rool still has that crown, so that was pretty clever. K. Rool's off stage, almost got caught by a back air. Still going to get caught while you're landing. That move has so much end lag.
Yeah. It is interesting to see how much King K. Rool is struggling to get into the villager. Pocket of the crown though, so things just got a lot more difficult for K. Rool. But we're at that percentage point where someone can just kind of die, especially from K. Rool or another heavy.
That's a good catch on the air dodge. This is very classic for bowling ball there. If you anticipate someone's going about to air dodge back in the stage to try to avoid you, bowling ball usually will catch that. And that going into that jab definitely had the means to probably maybe do a little bit more damage. But it's especially a jab to where if they don't really know what to do about it, they can go up to like 40 in one hit, especially at ledge when they don't really know where to go. And now we're off stage here. Oh, really trying to get a kill here before a second stock is lost. But now it's looking a little bit more. Oh, I was about to say look a little bit more even in percents now. But now Palpa's off stage. Anything can happen. Oh, barely missing that back air.
Yeah, that's a difficulty with a villager. Those balloons have their own hurt box, so sometimes you'll just miss villager in favor for the balloons, which can sometimes can be a good thing, especially when they're so far down. There's only so many balloons they have to be able to get back to the stage. But we do see Palpa get a second stock. So regardless of what happens from here, it is a positive victory for Miami. They have a great lead coming into this next character.
For sure, and I think for now, at this point, Palpa's just going for extra credit. Trae right there. Oh, almost got a shield break online, but oh, that was so close for the Trae being chopped down there. Would have taken a crazy early stock there. I don't know if K. Rool would have died, but definitely would have been on the verge.
Definitely. Pocket on the cannonball doing huge damage to K. Rool shield. That might not be too impactful now, but we could see later that kind of interaction being critical to taking down the crocodile.
Oh, now it might be a reversal coming up, but no, not quite. And oh,
Uh,
try to pocket it, but didn't have the time.
yeah.
All right, still a great showing by Palpa. Now we only have one stock to have to deal with K. Rule, and I think this is certainly something that Miami can't deal with. Again, given the King K. Rule experience that we have there, I thought it was very interesting. Palpa had a lot of like reverse back airs off stage. Sometimes it's just like you go for bowling ball just to see if it hits, but if they're obviously trying to avoid it, K. Rule having to deal with coming back down super slowly. It is really like it's not great to have to deal with. And now we're sending in Klutz for our second character pick. That's going to be a little scary when it comes to weight because Kirby would die super quickly to K Rule. But when it comes to just having to worry about one stock on that K Rule, it could also influence that. And I think Klutz definitely has what it takes. And now we're seeing both of the players that we did not see last week. We're seeing them back to back, so that's very
Yep.
nice. We'll get a little bit, if you watch both this game and the last one that we had previously, you're going to see the entire roster, which is nice.
Yep. Definitely good to see who you want to cheer for the most, right? Personally, I want to see Mindelsman in these next few games. See if we get to see the Bowser Jr. come out. Definitely an interesting character you don't see a lot of, and one I personally like seeing a lot when they are played. We are waiting for map pick ban here in a little bit. And with this next matchup, Kirby versus K. Rool, it is good to mention the weight because Kirby can just kind of die
Yeah.
if they get caught by K. Rool. But I do believe K. Rool's going to have a kind of difficult time getting into Kirby because I do believe they can eat the projectiles, can they?
Depends on the size of the projectile. I
Mm.
don't think Kirby can eat the cannonball, but might be able to eat Crown. I haven't actually seen that. I think it also determines on it's the velocity of the projectile. But if we're getting right into it, we'll see what type of stage they went to. Because it's also a small battlefield. Okay, Kirby definitely can die super quickly. But now we're seeing um, a little bit of just I think when it comes to also combo game, Klutz is really good at that. So that is a big character. You do get a lot of Kirby strings from that, but it is definitely be wary of your weights because you can die super soon. Especially with K Rule strings, you can kind of be at 40 out of nowhere.
Oh, wow. Nice chain is the grab. Um, we are already seeing quite a bit of damage being brought up on the K roll, but also Kirby taking so much percent just from a few little hits. What was it, like 3 hits, 60%? 3, 4?
Yeah, and Clutch definitely got way more than that in. Almost got a insane forward smash. Gotta avoid this bowling ball. Gotta avoid whatever he's about to throw out. Back here, not quite gonna hit.
Oh, I respect the vision.
Yeah, that would have spiked. That would have been nuts.
Yeah, definitely a great end to this third game for Miami. We are at that point where both characters are going to start dying here in a little bit. Kirby almost going out immediately as I say that. Um, this is definitely going to be a little bit difficult for Klutz. K. Rool's not making it easy for them to get in.
Oh,
Um, oh, this is probably death for Kirby.
yeah.
That's one stock down. We'll see how long Saint Edgy can last against Klutz in this first or third game.
I thought that was a very interesting play off stage by Saint Edgy because it looked like that ground was going to get thrown and then it turned into a back air. Speaking of back airs, Klutz is going to connect that back air off stage because K roll going high is never good to deal with if you're K roll. Um, but that was a very confident game by Klutz. Now we're up by 2. Going to be interesting to see how they counterpick Kirby. Definitely a very weird character, if you ask me, to try and counterpick. Because if you try to play like a zoner or something against them, or like I've seen Klutz actually fight a Falco once, and it was just like more than half the match was Klutz crouching and
Yeah.
the Falco trying to do laser. And because Kirby can pancake really easily, it can be a little almost annoying to deal with, but it's also very unique. So having to approach this problem for a very uncommon character, as is also the rest of the Miami team. It's definitely a unique problem to try and overcome.
Yeah. We do know 2 more characters coming out from 2 of the 4 players, being Diddy Kong and Little Mac. I don't know if either of them will be showing up in this next game. I'm kind of expecting them to send out either Crank or Levy Waters, as we don't know what kind of characters they play, and that could be pretty detrimental to Miami not being prepared for insert actually, we do see a different character come out from one of the three people or one of the two people we thought we knew. We are seeing Amparo come out on the hero instead of Diddy Kong, which is
Interesting.
definitely a matchup of all time.
I can't even I can't even think where that begins to exist. Like I don't even know where to begin on that. That's going to be interesting. I Hero is a character. So we could just see. I'm especially definitely depending on the type of hero player. Some heroes will be like, all right, start of game, I'm top decking. No one really does that anymore. They kind of happen around launch where you just start with top deck. But it'd be funny if we just saw like a kamikaze or something,
Yep.
or it's hero. So maybe Klutz could die at like 2 to
Thunk
what?
or Whack.
Yeah, whack. So
Yeah.
could be really funny, really quick.
Yeah. Definitely interesting to note. Hero does have relatively strong normals, being one of the sorties in the game. So it's always good to see, or it's always going to be interesting seeing how a character like Kirby, which is both light and kind of squishy, going in. Just we'll see if Hero pops Kirby like a balloon. Another thing is just the base specials for Hero are rather strong if they're able to get him set up with charge, right? Um, we will be going in shortly. Um, we'll be going in shortly on this next upcoming map. I don't.
I'm sorry. I think this is gonna be weird. Starting out because um, Hero is kind of slow with the normals, but Kirby doesn't know really what to do when it comes to casting whenever Hero casts spells. You kind of have to have ways to cancel out that menu, but if you don't have the way to get in, like Clutch is right now getting in, which is starting out on maybe a stock. Wow, that was nuts.
What an incredible first stock for Klutz. Definitely going to make it incredibly difficult for, this is going to be an incredibly difficult game for Amparo, judging by just how that first stock went. It does look like they've got their footing in the game right now, but all it takes is just one little bad interaction, and it could go just the same way as that last stock, as we are seeing now with Amparo getting absolutely decimated by surprisingly strong Kirby normals.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm kind of eating my words because I was like, oh, what if Kirby can't get in? But I think Clutch is not having an issue at all trying to find ways to get in. And it always all has to do with the type of movement that Hero does. I think if Hero was a little bit lighter and had faster moves, it would definitely be harder to like get in and more easy for Hero to snuff out your approaches. But for this, it is now just straight up even in stocks and percent. When it comes to this match here, which honestly is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, we are seeing something interesting. Kamikaze did show up in Hero's shop while Klutz was coming down from the heavens. It was interesting to see the thought pass through the hero's head, or through Amparo's head, to maybe see a Kamikaze come out while they were low mana. Definitely would have been a play, especially in a format where we see. This is an unfortunate situation.
He did put on the list. Never mind, he's not on the list.
We missed the timing. Would have been funny, but definitely would have been interesting to see Kamikaze come out on this in this format where stocks mean so much. But maybe it's just for the sake of getting at least one stock in, right? Always valuable to get at least one, right? You don't need to beat every player, but just being able to get a stock off a player is such a huge deal in this limited format.
Clutch's shield looked a little low. I mean, I guess now it doesn't matter because now it's refreshed, but it's always really scary shielding anything of heroes, because if you get a shield break or you get put to sleep by anything, it's just really scary. What's also really scary is Kirby down air, tried to get a zoom, but couldn't find it, and that's going to be the game. Clutch looking very confident. That was super nice.
Yeah, what a great game for Game 4, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Game 3.
Game 3?
Pretty sure Game 3.
What a game for Game 3. We are seeing some interesting characters come out with Kirby and Hero.
Might be Game 4.
Might be Game 4?
Might be Game 4. I mean, now it's
it should be 3. We got one more. We got one more person we got to go through. All right. Always interesting to see how these games go when you see characters you're not used to seeing, right? Not every day you get to see Kirby versus Hero in a collegiate match or on Smash in general. not typically seen as the strongest characters in the game, um, right? So we get to see some interesting decisions like potential kamikaze in one of these stock-based crew battles. What do you think of this last game?
Um, I thought it was really interesting because it just shows it goes to show how confident Klutz is whenever it comes to being like, oh no, like what if Kirby can't get in a hero, or like what if Kirby can't like edgeguard hero, but like down air was really good. Just running up and grabbing people is just what Klutz kind of does, and it's really scary if you're hero and you're like, okay, well, I have all the time in the world. Kirby's kind of slow, and it's like, no, he's just gonna grab you, he's gonna down for you, and you're gonna be off stage, and you might die really quickly. And Klutz is really good at those really strong starts, and it was great to watch.
All right. For this next game, we are seeing Bowling Green send out Asian Guy Kai on the Little Mac. Definitely one of those characters you'd never expect to see at collegiate level or high level Smash Bros. We'll be going in here in the second, probably on little or small battlefield.
Yeah, I've been seeing a theme of small battlefield every time, but it's very neutral stage, so I don't blame either teams for always going there. And now this is our last player for Bowling Green. We will see if Klutz can go the extra mile and take down this last person. It will take even just one, or just not even two, but just one.
I
one
see the
stock,
strategy.
to make the extra credit count.
Yep.
Interesting gameplay we're seeing here. Trying to cheese out Little Mac using Inhale. But just kind of there he goes. He just kind of runs in there sometimes.
Yeah.
It looks like almost that both players looked like they went AFK for a quick second.
Well, I mean, if you're playing Little Mac and you see a Kirby trying to go for Inhale to get you off stage, it's going to be very difficult for a character with as little horizontal and vertical recovery. We do see we do see Klutz trying to wait out the KO punch, but all it takes is a down tilt and a KO punch just to get the stock. What a great game to watch.
You can see Klutz smiling at the end there. He knew it was like, oh god, time to platform camp, and then just down tilt KO punch. That's funny. That's the way the news goes.
This is the kind of Smash
so
Bros. I want to see at the high level.
Honestly, this is why I was thinking this while we were, it's like all these characters you usually like when you're seeing this at a collegiate level. When it comes to like the top players, you always see like, sort of just all the same sort of top tiers. You'll see like them all the time. But whenever it comes to collegiate, you root for a team that has these set amount of players and characters that are usually kind of weird and not usually seen at top level. But then also you're getting these new rotations of teams, all that have their own special and unique rosters of characters. And I think you can really just see the strengths of many different types of characters, not just like Snake, Rob, Steve, or like Bayo, or just any of the other top tiers that you can kind of just list off the head, like Fox. You just really get a grab bag of everyone.
Yeah, we are sending in Jam, the K-Roll player. I think this is going to be a very difficult matchup for Little Mac. I do see worlds where K-Roll just kind of dies to a KO punch, and the other Little Mac shenanigans. Such a hard character to deal with when he does get in your face, right? So much damage to shields, so much damage, so much knockback on just every normal, but it's a matter of if Little Mac can get in there, which K-Roll, not really the easiest character to get in on, especially with Crown, Cannonball, and not usually the easiest character to keep off stage.
Yeah, especially whenever you take into the fact that counter can work really well on not just ground but also cannonball. So in order for Little Mac to approach, I think counter is going to be like a big deal. And it's not like K Rule can counter, because K Rule's counter can break if it does
Yeah.
too much damage. But I know you might are you a little bit personally excited to see a little bit of jam action? Because I remember you were kind of oh I know you like Mindelsman, I think.
Yeah, I am still
But
excited to see Jam though.
K Jam is always a really big treat to watch, especially I think Jam definitely understands K Rule a lot, so I've got no doubt he will definitely be able to at least take a stock. And if we see 2 or 3, that'd be even better. But we're switching it up with stages. It's Battlefield this time, so we
Not
got
the
a
small
third,
one.
not a small,
Not the
we,
small one, but
we
we got a Battlefield.
we got an extra platform on the top there. That's going to be
Very
pro-
difficult
it's
for
probably,
Little Mac to deal with.
yeah, I was gonna say it's probably going to be used to platform camp.
Yeah.
But it also what you need to watch out for is going to be that uppy Little Mac uh, using that on top of the platform there can kill you
Uh,
pretty early. But if you're K. Rule, you might be living.
oh, what a great start from our K roll from Jam, making it so annoying for K or not K roll for Little Mac to get in with various things like cannonballs and large normals. Like,
Oh,
oh, we got a
whoa.
grab on the cannon.
That was nice.
Little Mac is going to be struggling. We'll see if Jam can time out the KO punch. If they can,
Didn't need to.
oh, they didn't need to. They just hit him out of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and mostly if any move puts you in the tumble, you will usually lose KO punch. And Uppy did the trick there on the ledge there.
Yeah. This is still a game where it's really just a race against whether or not Little Mac can get in, and it looks like Jam is making it incredibly difficult getting this first stock. A little funny to see the little smash dance after taking the stock when you're happy with your position and don't want to move too much, right? We are seeing Little Mac starting to just get a little bit of hits in, already getting K-Rool, one of the heavier and more meteor characters in this game, already at 99% with just a few little interactions, right? But it can go both ways with K-Rool doing just as much, if not a little bit more damage, and with a lot more range.
Yeah, that forward tilt almost nearly killing there. Gotta watch out for Max kind of reaction options on ledge because he's got down tilt, down smash. Side being back to ledge is definitely going to trip up you as well. Ooh, almost killed with that uppy there. Now KO punch is online. Probably not going to try to use it, especially since try to maybe get a stock and then save it for the next.
Yeah. I did want to note what I noticed. It did look like Little Mac did run under Crown, which we'll see if that's something we notice for a little bit more. We do see. Oh, was that a miss on the KO punch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's usually an auto combo from down tilt at most percentages, but it does look like he got unfortunately hit with the Smash Bros special.
Right? Yeah. Oh, that's not gonna make it either. I think what's really weird is the counterplay from not Logic, from Jam is the using like after Cannonball comes out, usually kind of becomes like Kirby and Hail in a sense, and using that against Mac is super nice because Mac doesn't have too many options to deal with it, and especially catching it with a air dodge in. Just makes it super threatening.
This is so incredibly difficult for Little Mac to deal with. Not being that might be, is that a kill? No.
Nope, not
Almost
quite yet.
though. Incredibly difficult for Little Mac to get in, and we do see what I believe is an up smash coming out from the K-roll to take the last stock.
Actually, that might have been up tilt. Up smash is when he goes like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
What a way to end this first match on Miami. We do have another one coming in after this. Um, we will be seeing me switch out a little bit here. So it was nice seeing you guys for this first game. You might see me for a game 3 if we get there. I'm seeing good things from Miami, and I'm glad to watch this next coming match from the back. Right. For this next game, I kind of want to see Lunar come out. I'm not sure how Bowling Green deals with Steve.
yeah.
It doesn't seem like they have much to properly deal with Steve, especially with Little Mac and Hero. I don't believe would have an absolutely amazing time trying to get through all the blocks. Um, I could see Rosalina doing decent into Steve
For sure.
but I think it's going to be such an impressive matchup for so much of this team that it would be kind of a waste if we didn't see Lunar come out today.
Yeah. I think Lunar would definitely be a strong starter. I think maybe they were sending out Palp and Clutch just because it's like, okay, let's get a gauge on this team. Let's see like how they're comfortable with these sorts of characters where, sometimes Villager has it's sort of like Steve in a sense that they're wanting to keep you away. Using these tools, setting up trees, kind of like setting up 3 blocks, except you can go through the tree. You can't go through blocks, got to jump over them or break them. But it's still sort of the same concept where, you kind of have that weird blockage in a very far away game plan. And I think if we bust out like Lunar here, that's going to be very hard to see because I think what tripped up when Palpa was on screen, whenever Tree came up, it was never good news for the other team.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll head to an intermission, getting ready for this next match. We'll see you soon.
And we are back once again. I'm Ivy, also known as Pandora, and with a new commentator.
Yeah, I'm Jacob Chewy. Gundram, I'm replacing Shrine to Nyx here, but can't wait to see the game. I watched the first match. Looked really interesting. Um, kind of find it funny that we have two K Rule characters, one with BGSU, one with Miami, and just some of the interactions that we had there. But yeah, I mean, looked like a great game. Especially with the villager, with Palpa going against Zero Pressure, which we are getting Zero Pressure coming back out for the first round again. So like to see what happens here. But I mean, just looking like a great game. And it looks like we're also going to have Mindle's Man, who is going to be coming out with Bowser Jr.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get into a game here soon. Town and City, that's the map we're going to be on. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Yeah. Anything else you want to add from last game?
Not especially. I definitely said all the words I wanted for the last game, but for this upcoming one, it's gonna be interesting to see Mindle's man because I think Bowser Jr. does pretty good against most of that roster as well, and I think Rosalina and Luma especially. I think that big back air can kind of go through Luma and go get Rosalina, and so starting on this game on small battlefield, we might be seeing a lot of that move.
Yeah. I mean, I was just watching, like, getting through to Rosalina. That was the biggest issue that Palpa was having last game, is that their missiles, nothing could get through their Luma. So now seeing some of those dashes over, it's going to do real big damage real fast. Already both being about 50%, and it's only been a couple of seconds through the game.
Yeah, and Mindles is not letting up the pressure either. Looking at ledge, trying to see a little bit of a mistake being happening here. And now Luma almost, I thought we were going to see Luma start using moves off stage, but not quite. And I don't think it would have hit Mindles. But now we got Cannonball kind of drifting downwards onto the platform. Back into neutral, but Luma is already down.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, especially with Edgy, and already stock down. Edgy going down to 2 stocks. We got Lunar at 3, or not Lunar, sorry. We have Mindles at 3 stocks, but really like seeing how much edge guarding there is going on here. The Rosalina players, Zero Pressure, definitely focusing a lot more on using the Luma as more of a projectile and understage mechanic.
Yeah, and we are seeing a lot of side Vs. And honestly, I don't blame Middlesman for doing a lot of that, simply just because it does go through Luma, and it does go straight getting Rosalina into a position of a potential string or two. But that is going to be good anti-air coverage by
Zero pressure.
Zero pressure. And thank you. And that was a good play in general. You definitely want to watch out for aerial movement by Middlesman, because Bowser Jr. definitely does excel with a lot of aerials. And after using up B, after using side B, it's always kind of ends up in the air, you'll notice, even if it isn't just jumping, but also with up B.
Yeah, and it's looking incredible, because also Mindlesman's kind of also getting lucky with Luma, but they almost had a really good setup to get another KO here. But yeah, Mindles is really not focusing on the Luna, focusing on the Rosalina, and because of that, Luna is getting taken out, and we're already down 1-2 with Mindles 2 stocks and 0 pressure going down to 1. But I mean, Mindles already doing good pressure, lining up a few combos here. But I mean, they have their Luna back, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it almost looks like as if Mindles just doesn't believe Luma exists, like as a concept. It's like perceived like existence. I think that's honestly a pretty good approach to this matchup, because your main focus is not to beat up Luma all the time. If you can get Rosalina especially, that is great. But another stock ender, we saw Zero Pressure go off stage and try to down air Palpa, and had died for it. And then in this time, that uppy was not enough to come back to stage. Very unfortunate end for Zero Pressure both games. But for Miami, that's a very good start. Having 2 stocks up already is certainly very good. And it's going to be strange to try and counterpick against Bowser Jr., especially with the character roster that they have in hand.
Yeah, and just seeing how Mindles was able to really just control the stage with all of his dash attacks, really just lining up. And again, those dash attacks just go straight through Luma. They're not stopping anything. So focusing on the Rosalina was definitely Mindles' strong suit there, instead of I mean, I don't want to beat down Palpa too much, but they weren't just all of their ranged attacks weren't able to get through to the actual Rosalina, and always got stopped by Luna. So they were never really able to close the gap there, but they did pull ahead. But it's definitely really fun to see how Bowser Jr. was able to just really close that game out very, very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the stage counter pick as well.
Hmm.
That was just really good. Like, there's just no distance that I think Bowser Jr. couldn't close out. When it came to Villager and Rosalina, you saw like there was a lot of space that they had to play around
Hmm.
with. Mindles did not care. Mindles would side B,
Hmm.
and you're going straight into combo, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, and that would be something interesting to see too, because we did a lot of small battlefield last game. So if
Yeah.
we go back to doing small battlefield, I mean, Mindles is just going to have a play day through there. I mean, they're just going to go across the stage real fast.
And then you're going to also die super quick to
Mhm.
back air and a lot of Bowser Jr.'s other moves on small battlefield. I think at least a good boon for zero pressure there was that you wouldn't instantly die to a Bowser Jr. aerial if you were at least in the middle of town and city.
Mhm.
But now for the next player that BGU is sending out, it'll be their Little Mac Asian guy Kai.
Yeah, really interesting to see because Little Mac, if they can charge up one of their attacks, it really just goes across the stage. So going to be two stage controllers there, but it looks like we're going to get into the game here. And
Says we're back. Small battlefield. Middles man starting out at 2 stocks, and Asian guy Kai at 3. We'll see how this second game plays out.
yeah, definitely going to see, especially with Mindles. Mindles was not focusing as much on the ledge guarding and keeping characters off the stage, which I would like to see what they do here because Little Mac, as we all know, terrible recoveries. Really hard to get back on the stage if you come off.
Speaking of, oh dang it! I was about to say speaking of, and I was like, it would have been the greatest moment of all time if Mindles had hit like an aerial. I'm like, oh look at me, I can predict that future. But like, nah, it did not happen. It's still a good recovery by Asian guy Kai, and I have KO punch. That could be pretty bad, especially at the ledge here. So Mindles trying not to get hit by that. Do not pull a klutz. And was not able to because now, Little Mac sent a tumble there, was not going to be able to KO punch. And now it's looking a little bit more even in terms of percent. Little Mac is definitely good at doing that simple bread and butter combos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, Little Mac does simple combos, but also we're seeing a lot of Mindles doing great combos, offstage combos,
Yeah,
and there we
it
go.
is. See, I wish he did that earlier.
Yeah, kind of sad we didn't see it right at the beginning there, but I mean, yeah, it's like it's the bread and butter against Lil Mac. Just kind of get him off the stage. They can't really come back. So I'd like to see what Asian Guy Kai does to try to counteract this, if there really is a counteract they can do.
Yeah, I mean, off stage, you have counter to try and make it back and not get hit by the move. And if you're really desperate, KO punch. But that's going to be another stock. And just really good off stage. The trick to this is really just trying to see him follow Little Mac off stage. And if you just even get 1 or 2 hits in, it's just over.
Yeah, and I used to play Little Mac a lot, and I've gone away from that because of that exact issue, and that looks like game there. 3 stocking for Asian Guy Kai, but we'll see who they send in next here. But honestly, it looked like a really great game that they were doing there. Just Mindles man really controlling off stage and just really couldn't do Asian Guy Kai really couldn't do anything there.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of trying to do the counter play literally with
Mhm.
counter at the end there, but it was just met with Clown Cart's boxing gloves of their own, looking like a really hard enemy to defeat and punch out. If we were, if this was from Little Mac's perspective, it's like, what do I do about this? So it's a little rough, but that was a very good showing by Middles man, and very clean and fast 3-stock.
Oh yeah, it's very. And just, I mean, Little Mac does big hits. I mean, what Mindles was at 120% at the very end. So, I mean, one more good hit from Asian Guy Kai would have closed that game, or would have closed the gap a lot sooner in that game. But, I mean, I'm kind of interested on who they'll send in to try to take on Mindles Man. I'm guessing probably the K rule, if I were to guess. Doing some of
Maybe.
the sucking, like the sucking attacks and the other range attacks there. Um, I don't know what the hero could do some spells, but
I think Hero Bowser Jr. probably can't be that great.
Mhm.
But he can like super easily like stop the menu and spells with super quick side B. But we're getting to this next game really quickly. Looks like we're going to see more K Rule action for tonight.
yeah, Saint Edgy coming back. So, I mean, I'd like to see maybe they are going to do that thing that I talked about doing the range attacks, but yeah, again, another very small battlefield. So we'll see what Mendelsman does if they can control the stage again.
Well, actually, I'd argue Hollow Bastion is actually one of the bigger of the stages. Not quite as big as um, uh, Town and City, but I think it's about, or if not bigger than Kalos. And it's just really what makes this big difference here is how much the middle platform is a little bit higher than it actually is on Smashville, and then also there's those little walls that you can see that make a big difference on K-Rool's recovery there at the ledge. But as I was yapping, Middleman was able to lose a stock there, but being able to answer with another of their own. Let's see if Middleman can get even more extra credit here, make the hill a little bit more steeper for the second game for BGU. But the 2 back airs might make it a little difficult. Oh, but that up B might make it difficult. Oh, it almost got a S smash. This is wild.
This is incredible. Just great down smashes, great recoveries. I mean, maybe Mendels has something here. Maybe.
I think he's cooking. This is nuts. Good tech there. I think that is definitely being like, oh, I can't consistently tech. I want to just keep doing the up B. And then trying to get it with that F smash is certainly, definitely not a bad attempt at all. And that spin out is going to kill.
Wow. I mean, yeah, this is a great game right here. I mean, 2 very good players at what they're doing. I mean, we have St. Edgy doing a lot of great big smash attacks, but I mean, we have Mendels kind of in the red. One good attack here from, one good attack here from St. Edgy will kind of close out the game. But while I was talking, we already got 101 on St. Edgy, so really anyone's game at this point.
Oh wait, that might be it. Yeah. Okay. That was definitely super close by Middlesman. Like if we had taken another stock, we would have been up 10-3, but already being 9-4, that is definitely dangerous. Middlesman was almost able to completely, like as you were saying, as you were talking, getting a lot of hits in that string. K-Rool is certainly a beefy character, but Bowser Jr. with Rage can kill you way sooner than you had ever have hoped or dreamed or expected.
Yeah, and especially with all those punches and drills, I mean, those are going to do a lot of damage real fast. And again, like most of the damage that was done and KOs were happening while we were talking. So it's just a very quick game there.
But now our response to that is going to be respect. We're seeing basically everyone but Lunar, which is kind of funny because we were totally expecting Lunar's crazy performance last week. Kind of expected to just keep seeing that rolling on through. But now seeing respect, the Sonic K-Rool, that's going to be a pretty scary for K-Rool because off stage already is bad for K-Rool, but Sonic's is monumental. One back air or fair or even nair, or if respect is confident enough, spin dash off stage is going to be very problematic for that K-Rool to have to deal with.
Yeah, and if I was already talking about a fast game last game, this is going to be even faster. We have Sonic, who's going to be doing a lot of moves very fast, very quickly. The K-Rool, St. Edgy doing very good against just anything we throw at him. But I'd like to see what they do with one stock here. We're probably gonna be getting in a game here soon. We don't know the stage yet, but that should be coming in real quick. But yeah, I wonder if we get down to some of our final characters, I wonder if Lunar is gonna come out. Because we still haven't seen. I'm assuming they're gonna send an Amparo again as hero for their final one. But yeah, gonna be kind of interesting to see if we do see this Hero Sonic lineup.
Yeah, I think Hero Sonic definitely would be pretty interesting. But I think the main goal right now for Saint Edgy is going to be holding down the fort. Really, like you are before the last line of defense. You're definitely going to try and see if you can sort of make that hill a little less hard to climb because when it comes down to this, you really have to pull through for your team. And K-Rool with one stock left isn't awful, but especially since he can get really good kills with Rage, really good kills with a lot of those big beefy moves. But we're going to PS2 next, and Sonic on PS2 is definitely really good stage for Sonic.
Oh yeah, incredible stage for them. But yeah, just having the K-Rool player doing big hits against Sonic, I'd like to see if they can get 1 or 2 stocks here probably. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be coming into the game here. right.
Starting off, you know, again, one stock, so it's going to be very interesting to see here what Saint Edgy can do going into this. Go straight to neutral, and we're starting to spin the win. I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know if Cannonball can go through spin dash or even homing attack, but already a pretty good start. Getting the respect off for 31. But now Respect answering that with a couple of combos of his own, but now it's getting snuffed out. That's a little spooky.
Yeah, and just seeing how like K-Rool, like maybe what, like 4 or 5 great hits there. I mean, Sonic's gonna have to do a lot of comboing here to get K-Rool up to like high percentages so they can knock him off. But like to see if they try to do some more of the offstage stuff with especially their spring bounce. Maybe trying to do some damage with the spring.
Yeah, I think the main goal for Saint Edgy isn't even just trying to survive here for as long as they can, but also get as much stocks. Because Sonic at 96 isn't too bad to deal with. You can definitely get a relatively kind of reasonable kill, especially for 78. It's not too awful to have to deal with. But it's just so hard to try and with your as slow and big as K-Rool, it's really hard to keep up with Sonic. Almost got an F smash at the end there, but now trying to read an air dodge past him. That was very ballsy, but definitely would have been a giant reward.
Yeah, and just seeing how the K-Rool player, we have Saint Edgy, kind of trying to read a little more with the Sonic, but I mean some of the reads aren't great, and Sonic gets a great combo there. Respect, I mean, gotta give him respect with their combos. But I mean, it's coming down to the wire here. Both players, I mean, one good hit, they're both gonna get knocked over threshold descent, and there goes one Respect stock. So yeah, we have Saint Edgy closing the gap there. Let's see if we can get some more closure there.
Almost had a string there into that fair, but looking a little scary for Saint Edgy here. Oh, nice. The up air is going to, or the uppy is going to hit Respect coming down, trying to finish it off. Respect definitely trying to close this out before anything else happens, but that might lead into even more percent on Respect's side.
Yeah, and back on that offstage, you're going to definitely try to do some of the spring action there, as we just saw. They missed the spring there, but I mean, keeping the pressure on that, Saint Edgy is really going to need to keep an eye out on the spring and making sure that they can get past, but ooh, we have a little more closing the gap here. Saint Edgy almost at 200%.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, that is such a almost. Will we get 200 here?
Oh, we got 200. That is insane living. But not being able to tech that spring is going to end it. Spring looking to just making it look like a kill move there. Anything you can kind of send down, like just straight down to K-Rool's recovery is certainly a good tool. And Spring being that type of projectile that sort of cheese certain characters, like Little Mac, it can be sort of scary. And I'm honestly surprised that K-Rool's up B doesn't have a little bit more priority because, I could see a world where maybe, the chopper kind of bounces it off his head, but not quite.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of interesting with a lot of our other players because considering we have our Kirby and Villager also having very similar ones to the Spring, kind of a weird matchup in that sense. But yeah, Sonic just going for the Spring text that I was talking about at the beginning. It's really just going to be like who was able to get to the top first, and they had 3 good spring techs. What about 5 of them, 2 missed? But I mean, honestly, a great job there. And honestly, seeing K-Rool at 200% was incredible, and having the spring tech dealing the final amount and doing the final stock was really fun to see.
Yeah, I think getting that second stock from Respect there definitely would have been huge. But living till 200, getting a stock off Respect, definitely nothing to scoff at. But now my question for you is: do you think they're going to send out Lunar?
I would like to see Lunar come out, but I don't know if it's going to come to that point. I think Respect has a good chance on finishing it out here with Hero. I mean, they have 2 stocks, and we have Amparo. I'm assuming this is going to come in, but they're going to be at 3 stocks, so definitely going to be a close game. I'd like to see what Respect does here, but I would like to see Lunar come out. Lunar, definitely one of like I mean, they're Steve players. Steve players always
Yeah.
think like 5 steps ahead. So
Yeah.
like to see what Lunar will do in this scenario. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would not be shocked if Respect is the one to close that out. I've seen a lot of crew battles so far where Respect is the one to sort of get that closing out game. But now we're going to be seeing. You kind of predicted this a little bit earlier. We're going to be seeing Sonic Hero with Amporo versus Respect. That is going to be something else.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a very interesting game. Sonic's going to be doing a lot of dodging for all of Hero's spells, but I want to see if Hero can get some nice damage in. But yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see there. And also with Amparo and Hero's just jumps and saves, it's going to be really hard for Respect to do those spring techs that they were doing with K-Rool.
I still think that it's going to be worthwhile to at least try to attempt those because, worst case scenario, they just kind of get like bonked a little bit, and that's still percent for you. I think actually what's kind of scary is that uppy costs MP. You get hit by spring, that's even more MP, and now you have to
Yep.
hit Sonic with your sword to get MP back. That's a slippery slope.
Yes, that's going to be definitely hard. I haven't seen Hero in a while, so it's going to take me a little bit to remember what all Hero does. And honestly, all of their spells, they have so many different, very versatile character.
Mhm.
But yeah, so hopefully we're going to be seeing some good plays from Respect, and it sounds like we'll be going into game here.
If I know correctly, I think it is going into small battlefield A again.
No.
Not too bad of a pick. What is a little scary for Hero here, though, is that you don't have space really to breathe. Sonic has so much speed, and this stage is so small. It's going to be hard to get a spell in. Speaking of, um, he got a spell. He got a buff, so that didn't count. You got to restart that.
Yeah, we're gonna restart there because of the buff. But yeah, just looking at it, already trying to get some buffs out.
Hey, it might carry over to the next game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it might. But yeah, already kind of getting ready to see what they're going to do against the Sonic character. Already kind of formulating a plan. Like to see what happens there. But yeah, I would probably see that it's going to be more ranged attacks, but it sounds like we're already going to be coming back in. So hopefully we're not going to have another reset here. But yeah.
You know what we might see a lot of? We might see a lot of the side B with the I forget that they got all different like types of names for the different charges. I think it's called like crackle. But I know that side B there, depending on how you charge it, it might be able to cover a lot of what Sonic has as he's like running towards you. But now we got Acceleratle going to be definitely way easier to like catch up with Sonic and play a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie with them. We're seeing already a very patient game from both of these players, but now it is Respect's time to go in. Almost 60%. Oh, 75! Ooh.
And yeah, just seeing how Amparo does those recoveries there, and where they just kind of almost teleport back on stage. I mean, it's like Sonic's definitely, Respect's definitely gonna have some issues here. Keep them off stage.
Yeah, what's weird about Hero is that you actually have more percent chance to get zoom on your menu if you're off stage, or closer to the blast zone, which is a little scary whenever it comes to having to. Whenever it comes to edgeguarding Hero, you always have to consider that might just bust out zoom, and I have to be like, oh, I gotta get off the stage, I gotta catch it. But that was really good catching, just in general, by Respect at the last second there.
Yeah, and already going up to 150%. I mean, Respect definitely going to get just maybe one or two good hits. Maybe gets another spring tech like what we saw with Saint Edging. But, I mean, definitely going to be one good hit, and that's going to send Amparo off, and it's going to get the combo, and there we go. There it's... And they're gone. They're gone. It's out of here.
This is going to be their second to last stock here for BGU. I'm going to see, Magic Burst. Nope, Bounce. That's not going to do anything, I'm pretty sure. It will not reflect Spring, as Spring I don't think counts really as a projectile in terms of bounce. Or at least I know Villager can't pocket Spring, so there's that. But you got another spin dash combo into fair, and we got up tilt almost into a giant F smash. Again, I Respect is so confident with these F smashes, it is scary.
Yeah, I mean, Respect doing the combos into the F smash, it's like definitely going to be doing a lot of damage. But yeah, like you said, it's definitely going to be kind of risky, especially with Amparo being able to kind of close the gap with the sword and all of their different magic, the kabooms, the sizzles, all of that stuff. Um, also getting a good thrack there at one point. I mean, like, incredible, but Respect's getting into a danger zone here, 161%. It's stacking up quick, but they're going to get a combo, and ooh, I thought that was going to knock him off.
Yeah, me too. Looking at 1 MP, that is not what you want to see if you're a hero. You cannot bag of tricks your way out of this one. You can't even zoom off stage if you're far enough, and you can't even fully, you could barely charge that up. I'm surprised that a little mini win got out there. But that back air is going to finish it. Sonic's aerials are just way faster than Heroes. It is just, I'm not too shocked that Respect is living so long here. And how going under the stage, very, very funky.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to say like taunting, but Respect is definitely doing some more stuff where it's like trying to show off a little more, doing some showmanship. That under the stage stuff is definitely going to be interesting, but doing a lot more combos. But we're going to have Amparo kind of close the gap there. So it's going to be one stock, one stock. But this is BGSU's last stock. So let's see if Respect can close it out here or if we have to get to our next player or our next player.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of randomness and trying to roll the dice there to see if you can get an early stock from Respect, really chasing down Amporo there. Holy moly, that almost would have been pretty bad, but Psych Up is online. A little scary for Respect here, but I think it's even scarier for Amporo. You're off stage. We're seeing the spring play. Oh, no. Oh, I thought we were going to see an F smash.
I really thought that Respect was going to go for that there and trying to just keep him off the ledge, keep him going. And are we going to see it here?
Got to get in the zoom.
Yeah, they have the zoom, but they're down to 10 MP. They're slowly getting it back, but I mean, they got to use their MP a little carefully now. And we have the spring tech. Is that going to finish it out?
Yep.
It will
That's
finish
gonna be
it.
Not being able to get zoom there, but the way that was going, Respect had a crazy presence on stage. That was just going into advantage, and that's going to be a clean 2-0 for Miami against Bowling Green University.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that last part, just seeing Respect with all the spring techs, especially against Saint Edgy and Amparo, really good use of their character, and just being able to keep them off stage, kind of just waiting out Heroes MP use to where mainly they're out of MP, won't be able to use the zoom, won't be able to recover great. Really just kind of close that out.
Yeah, I think overall that was just a great showing. We got to see more of a widespread of our players tonight. We definitely got to see a chance for everyone to shine. The only player that we did not get to see tonight was Lunar, and honestly, I think Lunar had a great time to shine last week. So it's just
Yes.
overall looking really up for Miami here, and that was just a great show. But that was, yeah, no, that was really good showing. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
It was very nice watching these games. And tomorrow we've got some Overwatch. And then if you're looking for Smash, that'll be happening next week. But we got all types sort of games coming here this week and next, and just the next after that. It's just always great here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, Overwatch tomorrow. I believe we have Rocket League Wednesday. Overwatch again on Thursday. Pretty packed week. Like to see what Miami does here, but yeah, it's definitely going to be really fun to see. And then Smash will be back Monday, I believe. And yeah, so it's going to be really fun there. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we were able to see all of our players go. I was not able to see Klutz or Palpa play last week. But yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a great showing by the Smash team. We're going to be having even more Smash action happening off stream. Thursday, Team White plays, which I'm a part of. So if you want to see my villager, I will be up with my teammates on that, and that'll be super fun. And that is just I can't wait. It's so far, honestly, all the teams, not just Smash, but Overwatch had a great. I'm pretty sure it was like something like 3 hours. It was a really long game, but a very great showing. And it's so far, it's just been a great year already. We're kicking off really strong.
Yeah. Rocket League, we had a little rough. We played the third in the league, so definitely going to be a lot harder. And we have a very new team. They're going to be learning some of the communication skills, but I'd like to see where they go. I think they got the bones. I think they're going to do good.
definitely have the roots and seeds to grow here at Miami, no matter what team you're a part of.
Mhm.
But for now, I think that is going to be all for us. I'm Ivy, also known as Pandora,
And I'm Jacob, also known as Chewy.
and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.